a third offer on that Canadian MAZ Corporation. It looks pretty good if you're still looking to unload it, Sky.
I've changed my mind about this company, Spencer. After looking at the profit sheets, they're way up over last year. I think I'll hang on to it. Send them a letter of refusal, a polite one, of course.
All right. Is there anything further on the Monticello news?
No, Scarborough's still being damnably stubborn about it. He's got to want something besides money, that is. I don't suppose there's anything, shall we say, shadowy about his past that might be persuasive?
No, I'm afraid not. If you'll remember that report I gave you, except for a few youthful transgressions, everything about his background is spotless.
Yeah, I had a drink with Nancy Carr yesterday, hoping she could tell me something.
I doubt Nancy Carr would tell you anything of that nature, even if she knew something that could be useful.
But she did tell me something useful concerning WMON.
Oh?
It's only second-hand information, mind you, but it may be true nonetheless. WMON just may be on the block. And if I can't buy a newspaper, I may as well just buy an influential TV station.
You'd certainly be reaching more people through a television than you would through reader circulation.
That might be more fun than a newspaper.
The only thing is, Sky, the station is owned by an April Scott young woman who now lives in London with her husband.
Well, that's just what I'm telling you, Spencer. April Scott, the rumor is trying to get rid of the station. In fact, she's the one who hired my aunt to run the place. Maybe Geraldine knows whether it's a rumor or a fact. Get her on the phone for me, please.
Sure.
Hello?
Mrs. Saxon, it's Spencer Borg.
Oh, yes, Spencer.
Mr. Whitney is on the phone. One moment, please.
Aunt Geraldine, how are you, you wonderful woman?
I'm fine, Schuyler, and I can tell you are. Also, my dear nephew, I can tell you want something. What is it?
Well, you're one step ahead of me. Yes, I do want something. I want you to join me for lunch today.
For lunch? Oh, Schuyler, how nice. What time? 1 o'clock. No, 1 o'clock is fine. At the Trianon. Oh, how lovely, dear. I'll be there. Bye-bye. Good morning, Raven.
How did you know I was here?
I can hear you panting.
All right, then why didn't you tell Schuyler Whitney that the two of us were supposed to go to lunch and that the three of us had to go together?
My dear girl, you were just telling me the other day how much you despised my nephew.
Well, I don't care how rotten he is, Geraldine. You might as well get it through your head that your nephew is going to be my next husband.
Yes, well, no matter. Anything I might say in response to that statement will fall on deaf ears, I have no doubt. Well, excuse me, dear. I must get dressed for lunch.
And so must I. My dear, you will be hanging above the fireplace in the Whitney mansion soon.
So, what else can you tell me about this April Scott, Spencer? I mean, besides the fact that she's Dr. Kavanaugh's sister.
Yeah.
Got your homework all done, I see.
Of course. Now, let's see. April Scott is Dr. Kavanaugh's half-sister, by the way. In 1978, she married Draper Scott, a trial lawyer who was once a junior partner in the law firm headed by Mike Carr.
Our present district attorney.
Right. The Scotts now reside permanently in London's Belgrave Square with 2 children. Her mother was Margot Huntington, apparently a woman of enormous wealth who died about 3 years ago and left her entire estate to Mrs. Scott. The television station was only one of many assets bequeathed to her daughter. Others include real estate, oil shares, thoroughbred racing stables, a manufacturing plant.
A very rich young lady, then.
Yes, but obviously, Sky, this woman doesn't care about the income from WMON, but she does care about the station personnel. That's why any approach you might make regarding the station should reflect that same kind of concern for the staff.
Tender, loving care, eh?
Exactly.
Actually, since you're so knowledgeable about all this, why don't you just accompany Aunt Geraldine and me to lunch this afternoon?
Well, if you think I could be helpful, of course I'll come.
Good. Anything else?
No, I think that's it this morning.
All right. I think I'll get dressed. Gunther, I'll need the car about 12:30.
Yes, sir, Mr. Whitney. Very neat, Spencer, very neat.
What?
The way you maneuvered your way into getting that invitation to lunch. You have certainly learned all the tricks, haven't you?
Gunther, you do well to mind your own business. Now, why don't you just do your job and have the car out front within the hour so Mr. Whitney doesn't have to wait this time?
Yes, Your Highness.
Morning, Spencer. What's the matter with him?
The man's got delusions of mediocrity. I was just ribbing him now, and, he's got absolutely no sense of humor.
Well, I'm glad he's gone.
Yeah, so am I. It gives me a chance to get my morning hug and kiss. Huh?
It gives me a chance to ask you a question.
Ah, all right. I'm all attention, sweet stuff.
By any chance, do you know a young woman named Mitzi?
Mitzi? No, nope. Never heard of anyone named Mitzi.
Ever been to Sid's Tavern?
Well, let's see. Not that I can remember. Why?
I thought you might have been to Sid's and seen her there.
Oh, honey, you know I never pay any attention to waitresses. You ought to know that.
I didn't say she was a waitress.
Well, you said... Hey, Nora, why should I look after calico when I've got silk at home?
Well, you're not looking after me very much lately. You're acting like a stranger.
Well, you gotta give me a chance. Come on, Nora, we haven't seen each other in years. In a way, you're kind of like a stranger to me. You gotta give it a little more time to get going again.
We've been working together here for several weeks.
Oh, that's right. Just like when we first met, you know, working in the same house. Hey, you know, lightning is gonna strike again, baby. You just wait and see.
Don't you make me wait too long. I wasted a lot of tears over you when I thought you were dead. Don't make me shed more over the Mitzis of this world. Understand?
Right.
Freddie, I already sent the story to the composing room. Well, it's got to be floating around the building somewhere because the copy boy picked it up about 15 minutes ago. Listen, I tell you what, page him, Okay, right.
I am sorry to interrupt such a busy morning, Mrs. Carr.
Not at all, not at all. I finished my story for the next edition, so now's a good time to take a breather. Come in, please. Would you sit down?
Thank you. If I may, my credentials.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Foley, you are indeed with the government, as you said on the phone.
Yes, well, I believe I mentioned the purpose of my visit.
Yes, you're investigating the late Jefferson Brown.
And the possibility that he committed espionage a couple of years ago. As a matter of fact, Mrs. Carr, it was your series of articles in the Monticello News about his impersonation that renewed our interest in the affairs of the elusive Mr. Brown.
My goodness, what an awesome thought.
No, believe me, we were very grateful to you. Otherwise, we'd still be stumbling around in the dark. I don't mind telling you, Mrs. Carr, that, well, this is a matter of the utmost urgency, involving, as it does, matters of national security, so you can see its importance to all of us.
Oh, yes, I understand. I'll be happy to help you in any ways you suggest.
Well, I believe you can. Obviously, your stories involved intense investigation, and I was wondering if you had some notes that
Well, first of all, there are no secrets. I mean, I'm not bound by any promises, so if I'm able to help the government in any way, you could have my notes.
Well, I didn't doubt for a minute that you'd be fully cooperative. Thank you.
Good. I didn't need any other incentive, although there is one.
Oh? What's that?
Well, this investigation proves very helpful, possibly, to a friend.
Thank you. You're talking about Detective Damien Tyler, aren't you? The son of Fowler Wilcox.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I am. He's a friend of my husband's and mine.
Yes, well, I have heard of Mr. Tyler, and I certainly intend to interview him as well.
Well, I know it would mean everything in the world to Damien to be able to clear his father's name once and for all.
Yeah, I'm sure he has intense feelings about Jefferson Brown. Oh, by the way, one other question. How well do you know the woman that Brown married, Raven Alexander?
Very well. I'll get those notes.
Okay, that's it. 1 minute. How many words you got?
Let's see, 9 lines and 10 words a line. I guess about 90 words.
How many errors? Come on.
None on this one.
90 words a minute. That's fantastic. That's got to be a new world's record.
No, the record's 140, no errors.
All right, come on, get another sheet. We'll do it all over.
And it's alarm. I'm not a trained SEAL. Huh?
Hey, listen, I got a terrific idea. You see, I'll take you down to Harry's bar. We get a couple of guys, we set them up, we con them into this thing. They make a few bets. You pull out the typewriter, bing, bang, boom. We collect all this money.
Forget it, man. Forget it. I'm not going to be a performer for nobody.
You're going to waste all this wonderful talent. They really taught you how to do this thing in a can?
Sure.
You know something? I'm glad my taxes are being used so good. I pay a lot of money in taxes. In fact, you're better than Poppy, my secretary. She does 30 words a minute, and she thinks it's terrific. She wants to throw a party. All of a sudden, hey, I did 30 words a minute. There's only one difference between you and Poppy. She's a lot better looking than you are, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I got to agree with you on that one.
All right, listen, you've been such a good boy. I got a terrific surprise for you.
Yeah?
You're going to love it.
Hey, wait a minute. I'm not looking at trouble here.
Hey, this is legal. It's all legit. I took care of everything. What, are you kidding? I even got you a license.
Oh, Mr. Lorimer, thanks. Look, you're not going to regret this, I promise.
Hey, listen, just one word of advice, huh? Be very, very careful with that piece. You got it?
Got it.
Okay. Hey, Joe, how you doing?
Hi, Eddie.
How's it going?
It's going okay. Beat it, kid. I don't want you here.
This time I'll wait for Mr. Lorimer's orders.
You took your orders from me, too.
And who says so?
This says so.
Hey, this kid's even faster with a piece than he is with a typewriter.
Put that thing away or I'll make you eat it.
I mean, what is it with you guys? Joe, I'm surprised at you showing off pulling hardware here. What is this, the OK Corral? And I just got through telling you to watch out with that thing. Didn't I say that?
All right, I'm sorry, Mr. Lorimer.
All right, come on, get out of here. Go ahead, take a walk. I'll talk to you later. Sit down, cool off, will you?
Yeah. One of these days, Eddie, I'm telling you, one of these days.
Calm down, don't let him get to you.
Yeah, what do you got this kid hanging around the office wasting your time for? According to what you told me last night on the phone, we got one big problem.
Oh, we got problems. Okay, all right. But we could find an easy solution to this thing if we handle it right.
What did Ronaldo tell you?
He said this kid, Chad Sutherland, plans on bringing Chody Travis up to that Eden Tricentennial at the Raleigh Castle. Now, he says if she plays any tricks, you know, tries to get cute, she can start rally around the flag, kind of a number, get all these people crazy and excited, and we got big trouble in Eden.
She can do it, too, because they're going to have a TV satellite sending the whole thing back there.
And if she does it, we got big problems here, too.
Yeah, so how do we handle it? Ronaldo says hands off the Travis girl or you make her a national martyr.
All right, let me tell you what we're going to do, all right? Now, we don't have to hurt the girl. We'll do exactly what Ronaldo says, all right? But we make sure that she doesn't get to that party under any condition. We make it impossible for her to get there.
How?
You can't go to a party if you just had a bad accident. Can you?
Be happy, but I can't be happy till I make you happy too. Life's really worth living when we are worth giving. Please let me give some to you. Hi.
I should have obeyed my first impulse.
Hey, what impulse was that?
Not to answer the door.
Uh-huh. Look, if I'm interrupting something, excuse me. But I thought it was time we had a serious chat. About Troy.
Calvin, that ploy is getting a little tired, isn't it?
Didi, it's no ploy. I mean, I am genuinely concerned about the guy, and not because he's your brother either. I mean, I just think he's intelligent enough to contribute something to society besides trouble.
He will do just fine.
With a little luck.
By the way, you didn't have to make this trip. I already know about your magnanimous gesture. I know that you persuaded the DA's office to reduce Troy's gun charge from a felony to a misdemeanor. Thanks.
You're welcome. Anyway, it wasn't a magnanimous gesture. I just thought if you got another chance, you know, it might help. I just hope it does.
I already said thanks. By the way, you're welcome.
Now, there is the problem of that fine, but, yeah, I'm sure his new boss, Eddie Lorimer, wouldn't mind dropping a few bucks on his new strong-arm man.
He is not a strong-arm man.
Oh? Well, tell me, exactly what does he do for Eddie Lorimer? You know, I've been thinking about that a lot.
He is a security guard for the art gallery, okay? There is nothing wrong or illegal in that, is there?
No, not in the least. There happens to be a great deal both wrong and illegal about Eddie Lorimer, however.
Calvin, I think you'd better leave.
Oh, come on, Didi. Look, can't we just have a simple conversation? I didn't come all the way over here to fight with you.
Well, this is a pretty good imitation.
Didi, the fact is, I've decided that we have to renew our relationship, you know, get things back on the track like they were before they went all haywire. And I think with a little cooperation from us both, it's possible.
You were going to say with a little cooperation from me, weren't you? Calvin, how many times do I have to tell you that there is nothing that you can do or say that can renew anything between us?
Now you listen to me, Didi Bannister. Somewhere there is a way to make you as crazy about me as you used to be, and I am determined to find it.
Troy.
I thought I heard two voices in here.
Come in and try to be polite, will you?
Hi, sis, and ain't always. And this policeman isn't bugging you, is he? Because if he is, he's going to answer to me. Because you see, I'm armed, you know? And allow me to show you the permit. Now, we must observe legalities, mustn't we?
I think I'll be going. But I can't be happy till I make you happy too.
All right, Skylar, now that you have oiled the machinery by stroking my ego and plying me with liquor, what can I do for you?
I never could put anything over on you, could I, Auntie?
It's a good thing you learned that lesson early, dear. Anyway, here's to whatever it is.
The heart of the matter is, I've just heard recently that April Scott is thinking of selling her TV station.
Oh, so that's what this is all about. You're thinking of buying it. When did you hear it might be for sale?
Oh, that doesn't matter. What matters is how you feel about all this. After all, you are the heart and soul of that place.
Oh, that's nonsense.
That's not what I've heard.
No, Skylar. I'm merely the manager, sort of a glorified troubleshooter. Actually, it's the technical crew and the programming staff who are doing the work.
If I may say so, Mrs. Saxon, I think you're being overly modest. I've done some checking on the business affairs of WMON and, of course, the ratings for Mr. Whitney. You know better than I, but business is very good, and there's no question that you are largely responsible.
Thank you, Spencer. It's nice to be acknowledged.
As a matter of fact, as Mr. Whitney's business manager, if he did purchase the station, I would definitely recommend that she be kept in her position, as long as you are willing, of course.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, it's all very flattering, I'm sure. But I'm not altogether certain that April Scott is serious about her planning to sell. She merely has said she wished I would buy WMON, simply to take it off her hands.
Well, I have no doubt that you could afford it, Auntie, but then you probably don't want to get that involved, do you?
Probably not.
But then if I were to buy it, it would stay in the Whitney family, wouldn't it? And then I'm sure Mrs. Scott would approve of that, don't you?
Sly, Skylar, sly. But yes, I imagine she would consider giving you preference.
Excuse me, please.
Oh, of course. Now,
sit down.
Why are you doing that to me? Can I say hello to my aunt?
I know why you were here. You knew damn well that she would be having lunch with Skylar. Now, I have something to say to you that is far more interesting than anything that you could say to each other.
I have no intention of taking April Scott's offer seriously. I don't want to burden my life with anything so unwieldy as a television station.
the right decision, I'm sure.
But if it's something you want to take on, then have at it by all means.
Then please do me a favor and ask Mrs. Scott if she'd consider selling WMON to your favorite nephew. I hear she's terribly fond of you, and it would definitely smooth negotiations between us.
Now, Raven, please try to understand that we have absolutely no idea what your late husband hid away in that safe deposit box.
No, but you've got a good hunch, don't you?
No, not even that. Furthermore, we have no idea why he thought it was so important that he locked it away under 2 keys.
But he did.
Yes, he did. And considering the fact that he left millions in banks and stocks and bonds, real estate, and various companies, we have to assume that what he hid was especially valuable.
That's what I thought. Have you found the repository?
Yes, we have, but there's only one thing. You see, it's not doing you any good because we have the key that you need.
And vice versa?
Exactly. It's a stalemate.
Good. I love making your boss suffer.
Raven, Mr. Whitney is hardly suffering. He has the Whitney fortune. You have nothing. But I'm willing to make a deal.
I bet you are.
You can have half the value of whatever we find in the box if you'll let us use your key.
Half? How do I know you're telling the truth?
You have my promise.
All right.
Where's your key?
Where's yours?
I have it right here. Which means we could go to the bank right now.
Let's go.